What's up, everybody? This is in regards to myself. I'm your host, Jesse or Jesus. I know it's been probably almost like 2 months since I've done an episode, but I'm happy to say that we're back to it. Me and Carlos, my partner with this project. Um, I'm really excited. I'm really nervous. If you can't tell in this by the way my voice sounds, but I'm very excited for the guest that I have on today. Before I get to the guest, I do want to do our sponsor shout out of Solus Industries, Kevin Solis. He's the owner of Solus Industries. He's doing some really great things. If you don't already know, Solus Industries is an entertainment company that offers an array of different services. They range from media coverage, art, music, just to name a few. They also host events like gaming tournaments, farmers markets, weddings, and more. They're currently looking for people in the Valley that are interested in collaborations. If you're interested, visit their website, solusindustries.com. Carlos actually created that website, so it's pretty cool. Or contact Kevin at solusindustries.com. You could also follow them, Solus IND, on his Twitter, and it's also Solus on Instagram. Remember, together we rise. Also, Solus Industries is producing one of my very close friends, JJ Jaime. He's producing with the help of Carlos. They're producing what is it, Carlos? What's the name? It's okay. Imperial Chess Crew, right? Imperial. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I said it right. If you're into chess, you got it. You got to play JJ. He's freaking good. And it's a cool little experience. You get to sit down, play a game of chess, drink a beer, and just chit chat. Anyways, so really quick, right before I introduce my guest, so during the time off, I had a lot of time to reflect on stuff, and I feel like being away from it because I had to go away for work. It felt like a good thing, I feel like I had to take a step back. I had to reflect on things, and my goal with this podcast was to stay consistent and put out quality content. But I just want to reiterate. I know I have the responsibility that my information, should always be accurate and should always be unbiased, unless it's my own opinion. So if you have any questions on what I believe or whatever, feel free to ask me. The reason I bring all this up is just because of what's going on in today's society. It did I felt a little discouraged, taking a step back because I saw some things that I didn't like, and I know you can't please everybody, and I know everybody's not gonna like what you're putting out, and at the end of the day, none of that should matter. It should be what you're putting out if you're proud of it yourself. So, in regards to that, I'm happy to say we're back. I'm not here to necessarily discuss any social issues, but if they come up and you ask me in my opinion, I'll give it to you. If I don't know enough, I'm going to tell you, you know what? I don't know enough. But anyways, this is great. This is going to be an awesome episode. I want to introduce Rafa Gifted Garcia. He is 155-pound champ for Combate Americas. He's a dad, he's a son, he's a brother, he's a friend, and he's a fighter. So, what's up, Rafa? How's it going, bro?
Thank you very much for having me here. I'm super excited to be here.
Thanks, man. I'm really happy you did this, bro. I know you're busy, but honestly, bro, I'm glad you're here.
No, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure for me to be here.
So a lot of people don't know. I've actually known Rafa. We met once when I was in high school. I remember seeing him in high school because we went to the same high school, but I am 3 years older. When I was a senior, I remember seeing him as a sophomore, and I want to say this in the right way, bro. But I remember seeing you, and I remember thinking because you had this this aura, you had this thing, and I remember thinking, and I was wrong, by the way. I was wrong. I thought, oh man, this guy's cocky, and I was wrong because there's a difference between confidence and being cocky. And I think you just had the confidence. Because when I finally got to meet you years later and actually get to know you, it couldn't have been further from the truth. You were actually a really humble guy. One of the things that I love that you do, bro, is that you shout out people from the Valley. You're constantly buying, merchandise from people that you've known from high school, and even those that have supported you. You're like, hey, you support me, I'm going to support you. So that's one of the things that I was wrong. But I remember when I first actually met you for the first time, it's not like we shook hands or anything. I was actually training, and I say training because I wasn't actually fighting or anything, but I was like training MMA with a good friend of mine, and you stopped by the gym, and I remember thinking like, oh man, I've seen this guy from high school. I was like, this guy, I think I could take him because I had wrestled 1 year, and so I was like, I think I could take him, and then it turns out, dude, you tapped me out like probably 5 times within a span of 5 minutes, bro. And I've never been like so like confused in my life. Like, what the hell just happened right now? But like you didn't gloat. You not once were you like you actually once you had it and I tap you let go, which is something that some fighters don't do. You had that class. You didn't say much though. That was the one thing that I noticed about you. You didn't really talk much. You were just there like, okay, I'll do it. And you beat everybody there. You even beat at that point my good friend, and I was like, dude, how did you beat him? Like, this guy's good. And so I know I'm talking a lot, but that's how I met you, bro. So I know you, but I want everybody else to get to know you. I think one of the things that we don't do enough is give you a lot of credit. I know we give Andy Ruiz a lot of credit, and he deserves credit, but I feel like we need to give you more credit because you're a champion right now, and you're undefeated, and you always come back and give back to Mexicali, and you give back to the Valley, and I could do that. That shit makes me happy, bro.
Yeah, no, I mean, those are really good words. I mean, that what we said, I was just thinking right now, like what you said about me walking cocky. I get a lot of that, a lot that comment a lot, but I think it's just my face. Like everybody tells me, like, dude, you got like that, like you're always mean-mugging people. I'm not, but I'm not. That's just my face, and I'm always trying. Like, everybody tells me, like, hey, Rafa, like, como tienes cara así como eres muy serio, no hablas casi. Digo, no, digo, me gusta escuchar lo que dice la gente, me gusta escuchar y ver cómo es la gente, porque yo pienso que de una conversación puedes aprender muchas cosas. Eso es lo que yo pienso, y también ahora miro a mi niña tiene la misma cara así como siempre está como que, una carita así media enojada. So, yo pienso que nomás es mi expresión, pero siempre he sido una persona bien calmada y siempre muy amigable, y pienso, ¿me entiendes? Ya que me conociste, obviamente ya has sido una persona muy
Sí.
amigable. Y como lo que dices, eso de entrenar, y siempre me gustan más retos porque siempre he pensado, ¿de qué me sirve ser el mejor en mi gimnasio si no tengo que ir a otros gimnasios? Es lo que estaba buscando ese día que tú dijiste. Mi papá me dijo, pasamos por ahí, miramos que están entrando y traía mis shorts de pura casualidad ese día. Y mi papá me dice, ¿qué onda? ¿Te paramos para ver si te dejan luchar? Y dije, pues vamos a parar, le dije. Y ya paré y luché y son diferentes. Yo siempre digo, you gotta see different faces because if you get used to the same thing, you're gonna get comfortable. You're never supposed to get comfortable. You're always supposed to be challenging yourself and pushing yourself to be better.
And you know what? For those that don't know what he just said right now, he was just saying that he's always looking to get better, and the one way to get better is to look at different people, wrestle with different people, fight with different people, train with different people. And I agree with that. I think that's one thing that you have to evolve, especially in your career, because well, and I guess in a lot of careers, right? But in your career specifically, because if you don't, somebody else is gonna get better,
Yeah.
And there's always somebody better, right?
Yeah, and this sport is evolving every day. Like, there's always different moves. Someone's always coming with different techniques, new techniques, something better. So you're always supposed to be learning from everybody. Like, you always gotta be open minded. Like, never say like, okay, I know everything, because it's not true. You can always learn something from somebody, and that's how I see it.
And that kind of brings me to something that in one of your interviews I saw that you said that your trainer, I believe it was Ulysses, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe he said to you like, hey, you need to go. You need to go. You need to go find somebody else. I've already done what I can teach you. I've already trained you as much as I can train you, but now it's time for you to move on. And I remember in that interview, you were kind of like, what? This guy doesn't want me anymore?
Yeah.
But then it wasn't like that, and that's the reason why I bring this up is because it's got, like, in MMA, what I notice is when you're a part of a team, there's a loyalty, right?
Yeah.
And if you leave the team, sometimes it could be bad.
Yeah. I mean, Ulysses did it twice to me. The first time he did it to me, I was like 15, 16. He told me, why aren't you wrestling? And I was like, I don't know. I don't like wrestling. I don't want to wear a singlet. I don't got the grace to wrestle. So, I mean, I'm good with just doing MMA. He told me, okay, you think like that? I'm like, yeah. He told me, well, I don't want to ever see you again. Get out of my gym. I was like, why? Because you don't got the grades. If you're not smart enough to get good grades, you're not smart enough to be here. Get out of here. And I was just like, what the hell? It was just like a slap in the face to me. I was like, what am I doing then? So I just went to the wrestling room, and I only wrestled 1 year because the year before I tried to wrestle, but I didn't have the grade, so I mean they kicked me out of the team. And then my senior year, I did really good in wrestling, and it helped my MMA career like a lot. Like I could tell I benefit a lot from that. And then when I came back to Ulysses, to Yuli, he told me like when he was done after a while training me, like I think we went 4-0 with him. And when I signed with Combate, he told me like, you know what, like you gotta go look somewhere else. Like if I didn't like you, if I didn't love you, like I would try to keep you as much as I can with me. And the moment I didn't understand, I was like, why are you letting me go? Like I'm used to being like with you,
Like you got me here.
yeah, but you got me here, you got me all the way here, and then you're trying just to push me away. And he told me like, no, like 'cause I'm done. Like I gave you everything I had, and like you got to keep learning. And that's when I moved to Yuma, and met Alex Garcia over there, and I was training over there with Yuma United. I was training over there with Yuma United with Alex Garcia and Brian Balmont. He's my 10th teacher over there, and they got my level like to a certain level. And then after a while, Alex told me the same thing. Like I was surprised because like I think I was lucky, and it was like fue una bendición que alguien me dijera, sabes que ya te enseñamos hasta aquí, porque mucha gente pienso que es egoísmo de mucha gente que te dice, sabes que te quiero quedar, me quiero quedar contigo, aquí vas a aprender, aquí eres. Eso no es forma de mostrar lealtad a alguien, eso es forma de ser está haciendo, you're being greedy you
Hmm.
know, you're being greedy. So sometimes just to be loyal to that person, you gotta be like, you know what, I gotta let him go. And he has to go look at somewhere else get better, and that's what happened right now. I'm with Cup Swanson right now. He's been helping me a lot. He's my mentor. He's always trying to help me to be better, and I mean, I think it shows right now in every fight. Like every time you see me fight, I think I show like a different game every time. Like on my last fight, I fought a striker and I beat him in striking. So I think that helped. I mean, you could tell that I'm always working. I'm always trying to make myself better, and I'm always trying like to beat my opponents in what they're good, not in what I'm good. You know.
Mm, okay, I like that. I respect that. But dude, like, what the thing is that people don't know. Well, a lot of people know, but there's some people that don't know that you're. If you would have told me I only wrestled for 1 year, I wouldn't believe you, bro. I swear to God, I would never believe that shit. Um, because it doesn't seem like that. And then most of your fights, your last fight with Bali Nai, like yeah, that shit I saw that you guys were banging, dude.
Yeah.
And then even with Eric Pepper Gonzalez, dude, that shit was that shit was a brawl.
I know.
But the one thing that I've noticed, like the same thing that I've noticed in most of your fights is there comes a point where you will feel comfortable enough to take the takedown, and dude, one of your finishing moves is picking them up, wrapping their legs. But it's a lot harder than people realize, like to actually do this, like at even in wrestling and just MMA in general, to actually wrap your fully arms around them, pick them up, and then slam them on the side.
Yeah.
And dude, that has to be like one of your favorite moves, right? Like,
That's one of my favorite moves. But what's harder is when I do it, I usually do it like in the second, like in the end of the second round or in the third round. That's when I start getting more of my takedowns, and like to have the air and the strength to do that. That's super super hard. But I just want to show dominance. Like when you pick somebody up like that and just like slam them hard, it's just like, man, like, you know what, like you're here in my house, like I'm gonna take you down. You're not gonna. There's no way they're gonna give you this decision. There's no way I'm gonna show dominance.
you said in one of your interviews that you're not here to, like, when you every time you fight, you take the decision out of the judge's hands because you want to make it obvious, like,
Yeah.
no, I won. Like you make it the easiest job of their, or the easiest fight of their night, right?
Yeah.
No, dude, and that's the thing. Like, and that's another thing. I never, like I said, I never really trained like fully or anything like that. I just trained like, with friends and stuff. And I remember the first time I ever actually trained, like with takedowns and strikes. Oh my god, bro! I only did probably like 3 rounds and like 3 minutes, and I was like,
That's a whole different game. Like when you try to shoot at somebody and you're not used to getting hit, it's just like, whoa, like what's going on? Like, but I mean, you just gotta get used to it. Like you gotta sometimes like sometimes you're gonna get hit. Like, it's like with my fight with Ghost Rider, I got hit. But
yeah.
it's just like how you overcome that. Like I came back stronger. Siempre le he dicho a todos, hay que saber darla y aguantar. Pero también tienes que no nomás tienes que dar, tienes que saber aguantar los golpes. Porque cualquier persona puede tirar un golpe, cualquier persona puede pegar eso, pero aguantar que te peguen en el corazón para aguantar todo eso. Porque
Estilo mexicano, right?
estilo mexicano, siempre para enfrente. A mí nunca me ha mirado cambiar, dar un paso para atrás, aunque me estén golpeando, siempre doy un paso, siempre voy para enfrente. Me gusta quebrar a mi oponente mentalmente. Decir, ¿sabes qué? Vas a querer, me vas a pegar un golpe, pero te voy a pegar cinco. Por cada golpe que me pegas vas a sufrir 5 golpes de pérdida.
Y eso es lo que noté en tus peleas, que I'm gonna bring it back to English because I ran out of Spanish there. But essentially, I've seen in your fights that you literally will you have that forward pressure, like that forward pressure. I noticed all your fights, bro. That forward pressure, and you will break your opponent's mind, like mental game. Like you will break their will, dude. And I've seen it, dude. I've seen like in your fights, the guys like by the third round, they're just like, yeah, this guy just keeps coming forward, and then you just keep putting him on their butt, keep taking him down, or you just keep banging it out. But dude, one thing I also have to say is, dude, you have a hell of a chin, bro. Because I'm not taking anything away from you, but those guys hit you with some good shots, you
Sí,
know.
sí.
But you hit them back with even harder shots, you know.
Sí.
And but
Yo pienso que es más las ganas de ganar y siempre también, porque ya para el tercer round, yo siempre estoy presionando para enfrente, pero no puedo decir que no estoy cansado porque estoy cansado, estoy bastante cansado, pero estoy jugando un juego mental conmigo mismo, diciéndome, ¿sabes que no estás cansado? No estás cansado. ¿A poco por un round, por 5 minutos, no puedes dar 5 minutos más? Para que te quedes con este título, para toda esta gente que pagó un boleto para venir a verte, toda la gente que hizo el sacrificio para venir a verte pelear, que te compró una camisa, que pagaron su boleto, que invitaron a sus hijos a verte pelear, no vas a dar 5 minutos más de sacrificio por todos ellos, por todo lo que sabe, por todo lo que yo no sé lo que tuvieron que hacer esas personas para comprar un boleto, para comprar una camisa mía, eso digo, tengo que dejarlo todo por ellos y más también por mi familia,
for your daughter,
por
for your
mi hija,
wife,
por mi esposa, mis papás.
yeah. And that's the one thing like I really like about you, bro, is that through all this, because you're gonna dude, honestly, bro, you're gonna get to the point where you're at with the top guys like in the UFC. You already are elite talent. But that's the one thing that's kind of hard, sometimes people get lost in the fame. One thing I like about you, bro, is you're still like you still got the champ mentality, bro. And that's why like I think we need to do a better job like as a valley. I know Mexicali reps you, but I think as a valley we need to do a better job of repping you because you represent both of us. I know you're born over there, but you grew up here, and you've gone to school here. You've made friends. One of your good friends and one of my good friends, Matt Sumatea,
Yeah,
like,
we're
dude,
really, really good friends.
yeah, dude. I have wrestling mats here in the garage, and I've been wanting to tell you to come, but I was like, dude, we've been going at it with my partner. Like, it's us three. Whenever,
Invítenme.
dude. Well, you know what? He's invited me with you guys, but every time it happens, I can't, dude. I'm always busy, dude. Or like, I think one time I was just like, oh, dude, I'm too scared.
Nah, it should go. It's fun.
Okay. Well, I just kind of want to talk about, kind of go back to like how you started in MMA. I know how you started, but for those that don't, I know you've said the story a million times, but I just want to, give you time to talk. So.
Sí. Yo empecé a los 13 años, empecé peleando más por una lección, no por una lección, sino como mi papá me quería dar como en el orgullo, yo pienso, y me dijo, no en el orgullo, pero me quería decir como, ¿sabes qué? Porque siempre andábamos jugando como, papá, ahí te va un bajito,
Okay.
y le pegaba, y luego mi papá llegó ya a la punto que ya tengo 3 años, ya no soy un niño, ya estoy para decirle a mi papá, dice, ya sabes que ya no puedo estar jugando así contigo, ya me duelen tus golpes, ya las tumbaditas me duelen. Y estaba rato la maña de quererme poner los guantes afuera en la calle, que andaba peleonero en la calle. Y mi papá me dijo, ¿sabes qué, amigo? Hay personas que saben boxear, hay personas que saben luchar, hay diferentes cosas que tú no sabes. Hay una cosa que se llama artes marciales mixtas, que tú tienes que te pueden golpear, te pueden lastimar, gente que sabe, que se dedica a eso. Le dije, ya, me dije, no me importa. Le dije, ok, mijo, te voy a llevar a un gimnasio. Me llevó con Ulises Cortés y fue cuando me pusieron una golpiza, la golpiza de mi vida, salí con calentura ese día temblando. Y mi papá me dijo, ándale, ¿qué pasó? Pero en vez de espantarme, me gustó. Y que lo quise hacer mi trabajo y ahora, gracias a Dios, aquí estoy. Ahora es mi trabajo y ahora me dedico a esto. Y es algo que mi papá siempre lo que mi papá siempre me demostró apoyo. He always showed me support. Y siempre me dijo, este va a ser tu trabajo y no hay campo para hacer, no hay campo para segundo lugar. Siempre tiene que ser el primero en todo. No puedes dejar las cosas a medias especialmente porque venimos de un valle más chico. Si a él le costó correr 3 vueltas al campo ¿cómo se llama? Para llegar a donde está, tú tienes que correr 10, porque vienes de un valle más chiquito y vienes de gente que nadie te conoce a ti, nadie te conoce a ti, tú no, vienes de una parte donde tienes que trabajar un poco más duro para llegar a partes, pero siempre demostrándome ese apoyo y diciéndome cómo hacer las cosas. So, es una persona que estoy muy agradecido con él, mi papá, que me apoyó y he pushed me a lot to become what I am right now.
And one thing I know about your dad is that your dad, and you've talked about this, your dad drove you like miles and miles to train, right? Just
Yeah.
to find you places to train. Like you talked about the Morales,
Yeah.
because you would, there was a point, right, where you were driving from like Yuma to like El Centro or maybe
Yeah.
Mexicali to Indio.
Well, after high school, I was working, so I would do, if I had a fight coming up, I would do conditioning at 5 in the morning. Then after conditioning, do like 3 miles. Then go to work at 7 or 8. I can't remember what time I used to go in. Then I would get out at 5. Then I would have to drive 1 hour, like go eat at the house, and then like by 6 or 7, I would go to Yuma, train like for 3 hours over there, come back and do it all over again for 7 days. Then after I stopped training in Yuma, I was doing the same thing but going to Indio,
Mm-hmm.
so which is a little bit farther. So I mean, it sucked. It sucked. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like I tell people, you get used to it, but you never get used to it because once you're driving back, like the problem is not getting there. The problem is coming back to your house. You're falling asleep, and it really really sucks. But I don't know. Like my goal was there. Like my mentality was, I was like, tengo que hacer esto, no, nadie me va a regalar nada, so tengo que hacer esto. Siempre he dicho todo, nadie me va a regalar nada, aquí nada es gratis, tienes que, si no pones el trabajo, nadie te va a dar nada.
Bro, I'm sorry to interrupt, bro, but I'm fucking proud of what you're saying right now, bro. Like you don't even understand, right? I'm smiling like ear to ear because, fuck, dude, that shit's why I'm proud to be fucking Mexican because of the mentality that our parents have shown us.
Sí,
I'm
sí.
fucking proud of that shit, bro. Sorry,
Sí,
go ahead.
y de hecho, una cosa que siempre a mí me saca de onda, yo tenía 16 17 años y me acuerdo que mi papá siempre andaba buscando gimnasios en el internet. Oh, mijo, te puedes ir a entrenar a Jackson y quién sabe qué tanto te puedo mandar a Nuevo México. Y yo me quedé, papá, tengo 17 años, le digo, todo en high school, le digo, tú estás mirando más a futuro, yo no sé si voy a llegar lejos en esto. Pero a mí lo que siempre me sorprendió es que no, yo no miraba la visión de él, his vision, because in his eyes, in his vision, I was already there. Like he always see me like, you're there. Like I know you're gonna be there. Even it's gonna be a little bit harder for you to make it, but you're gonna make it. So I mean that always pushed me, and I mean that's something that always helped me get there.
See, and that's the thing, dude. Like that's the crazy thing about our parents. You know, they see, obviously they see the best in us, and they see the visions we don't see, and they want these crazy things for us, and they'll go through crazy things just to get us there.
Yeah.
I've seen that with my parents. I know Carlos has seen that with his parents. Like your mom went to school, Carlos, and you know she, and now she's freaking in a high paying job, you know, because of it. My dad the same, my mom the same, you know, and like that's, dude, that's so cool that your family was very supportive
Sí.
and that your dad was
Y
super
de
supportive.
hecho mi papá siempre ha sido muy estricto, no nomás en la forma, he was always strict, like, not just in like fighting stuff, but also with school. I remember there was one year, it was my sophomore year, I was doing really, really bad in school. I had like 5 Fs or something like that. I was gonna flunk the year, and my dad went to school and he told the vice principal, like I came here to take out my son out of the high school. And the guys was, and the principal, or I can't remember if it was the principal or the counselor, she was like, you can't do that. Like, he was like, I didn't come to ask you. If he's not coming here to school to learn good things, coming to learn bad things, I'm not gonna buy him new clothes to hang out with his buddies and be trying to act cool with all his buddies. So I'm taking him out. If you tell me that he already lost a year, that he's not gonna pass, that I'm gonna take him out. So I mean, for my dad to do that, he told me I was gonna put you to work. I mean, I'll get you a field job. Like, you're gonna learn hard work. And then for someone like that, like the beginning, I was like, man, that's pretty mean. But like, if you think about it, that's my dad trying to be like trying to straighten me out and trying to make me a man, and you know, and that helped a lot too. Like my dad being that strict and always like keeping me straight in a straight line. Like,
And like, I will say there is something to be said though, because it, you know, like how that saying is, you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So even though your dad was like forcing you to go there, you still had to drink the water, and you did,
yeah,
which is something that I like. That's also something we have to talk about. Is, dude, not many people have the mentality you have, bro. Like, it's so hard. I mean, you legit have the championship mentality because it's so hard. Because, like you said, there's days when you're like, "Fuck, dude, I'm too tired to do this shit," or maybe I don't know. Maybe you never even thought like that. But for sure, like you said on the way back, right? You were tired just driving, staying awake, and having to do this. I mean, it was only for camps, right? But still, it's a lot, having to go back and forth.
Yeah.
And I think that you got to give yourself credit too, bro.
Yeah.
Like even though your dad, you give him all the credit, like most of the credit, you got to give yourself a little, because it does come down to the person, dude.
Yeah.
And
To this day, like, I still, like, I mean, whenever I have a fight coming up, I have to leave my house. I have to leave my daughter. Right now, it's even like a little more like, damn, like, man, I have to leave my daughter. I have to leave my wife. I have to leave my family, and it sucks. But I mean, it's stuff that I gotta do, and that because I do that, I mean, that even pushes me to work even harder, just because I have to go away from home like for months. I mean, like 2 3 months. For my last fight, I had to go to New Mexico training in Jackson MMA, and I was over there like for 3 weeks, and I was just like, man, missing my daughter. But once I came back, I mean, I knew I put in the hard work, and I knew I was gonna do good. I mean, the sacrifices that I had to do.
congratulations on your daughter. I know she was
Thank
born
you.
a few months ago, right?
I was just about to turn 1 year.
Oh, I'm sorry.
In
1 year.
October.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But yeah, dude. Like I mean that you kind of just said something right now that I wanted to talk about, and like for the people that don't know MMA and stuff, Jackson and Wink, they don't understand. Like this is like a high elite gym, and you just said right that you had said earlier you came back from Colorado, right? Like training with Justin Gaethje.
Yeah.
Like people have to know who Justin Gaethje is, but if you don't know, he's the interim champ for the UFC right now for the 155 pounds. But dude, you training with them and you training with people at Jackson Wink and training with Cub Swanson and Indio, and then Yuma, like you've seen all this talent, all this elite stuff. How do you feel you hang with those guys, like when you're training?
I feel like that I do good. They always tell me that, they have the potential to be really good. So I mean that boosts my confidence a lot. But just like the way, like, every time I'm around them, they make me feel like I'm part of this. So I mean, that makes me feel really good. Like in my mind, like especially since when I was little, I was just thinking like, man, they probably like a little bit cockier. They probably like what they don't want to hang out with me because like I don't come from a famous gym or from a famous city or something like that. But I mean, every time I go with everybody, with Cove, Justin, you name them, TJ, they're all like super cool with me. They treat me like if they knew me like for years. And Cub is like he's like a big brother to me. Like he's always mentoring me, telling me how to behave, not only inside the cage but like outside the cage. Like he's always like giving me advice and everything. So I mean that's pretty cool, and that makes me feel like welcome and makes me feel like I'm part of them.
Yeah,
so I mean
no.
that's like super cool from them because he didn't even know me. I met Cup in Mexico City.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
how did that happen?
I had a fight in Mexico City, and his brother was fighting there. His brother was the main event, and he told me I told him that I lived like 2 hours away from him, and he told me like, well, you should come out one day. So after the fight, I took his word. The following Monday after my fight, I was there. Like I was in the gym, and I got there a little bit late. He started working with me, and after that, we became friends. And he told me, "Hey, you want to come help me out for the Brian Ortega fight?" He fought Brian, and we went to Jackson, and I stayed with him for a month. And I was just like, I mean, like back then, I was like barely starting like I was barely fighting with combat. So and my wife told me like I told him like, man, I'm gonna have to quit my job. And she was like, well, you're not gonna get this opportunity. Like you don't get this opportunity to train with someone like that.
Bro,
And I was
no,
like,
you don't.
and I was like, well, I'm just gonna have to quit my job. So I just quit my job. And well, I didn't quit my job yet, but my boss back then, he was like super cool with me fighting, so he gave me the opportunity to go over there and train. And he told me like, you're gonna have a job when you come back. So I mean, I went over there and I got the experience and everything, and I mean, like it helped me out a lot. I think that's what got me here right now.
Dude, and Cub Swanson, he was a title contender. He fought in the WEC too, right? Like, dude, that fool's legit, bro. I know.
Yeah.
And having him like in your corner, that shit has to help. And then he has all the, he has good connections with like TJ and all those fools because they used to all probably train together. But dude, that's the thing, bro. Like, if you look at your Instagram page, like obviously you post that shit, but if people look at your Instagram page, they'll see you have pictures with Gaethje, you have Cub Swanson, you have all those other killers, TJ, even that guy George Karkanian, is that his name? Yeah,
Georgie.
That guy's pretty good. He's a Bellator contender, I know. And then you have all those other guys that
Juan Archuleta, he just won the
Juan Archuleta. Yeah,
yeah,
I
just
have his
won
name right there.
the Bellator championship right now.
He did, dude, and that dude, that shit's badass, bro. And that's the one thing I think, like in anything you do, it takes a bunch of people.
Yeah.
It's not like, yeah, it's not just one person. It takes, like you said, it was your dad. And that, I think, right, it would be safe to say that your biggest role model is probably like your dad, and then like probably Ulysses. Those are your biggest mentors, right? And then Cub. Would that be safe to say, or do you have other ones?
Yeah. Ulysses. My dad, especially right now, my dad is the one who started me in all this. With Ulysses, Alex Garcia would help me out a lot. Coach Brian Baumel from Tempe Yuma, he helped me out a lot, and Coach Robert Morales.
Yeah, that's true.
Robert Morales, he's always been there and help me out. And Cub is like the one, like he's the master game for for every fight I have. Like he's the one who starts the game plan, who tells me what to do. Like he tells me where to go to train for that fight. Like he's always there, like helping me and coaching me. And also my manager, Kami, he's also like the master game mind from all game plans. Him and Cub, they're the ones who create the game plan, and that's making me successful in this sport.
Yeah, dude, and like there's a saying, it takes a village to like make whatever. Like for my job is like it takes a village to make a paramedic, but to make a fighter it takes a fucking whole like country, bro. Because especially a good fighter, which you are. One of the things I remember you saying was your goal was to be the best in the world, not the valley. What did you mean when you said that?
Well, it's because I feel like a lot of people focus on being like, I want to be like, oh, I'm the best fighter that came out of the valley. Oh, I'm the best, I don't know, wrestler, jiu-jitsu guy, or soccer player, or football player. That was never my goal. Like my goal was always to be the best in the world. I don't want to be the best in the U.S. I don't want to be the best in the state or the city. I want to be the best in the world. That's my goal. That's the ultimate goal. If your mind is not there, it's not to be the best in the world. Then, I mean, I feel like you got a problem. Like for me to hear sometimes like, hey, I mean, I'm the best in the valley. I'm just like, well, the valley's so big. Like it's not that big. Like you got to focus and I mean, open your mind and be like, okay, there's a big world. There's a bunch of other fighters like from all over the world trying to be the best. So, I mean, that's my goal. Like siempre lo he dicho. Para mí ser el mejor de México, ser el mejor de Estados Unidos, ser el mejor de Latinoamérica, para mí eso no significa nada. Para mí el día que diga Rafael es el número uno de todo el mundo y no nomás en un peso, en múltiples pesos, eso para mí va a significar todo. Va a decir, ¿sabes qué? Ya estoy ahí, ya, I made it.
But once you're there, bro, don't keep it there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, dude, I like hearing that stuff, bro, because like that, like you said, there is a thing. There's like this sense of like comfort, like, oh, like I'm the best from the valley, but we've had so many talented people, and I feel like that's the thing. Like one guy that I don't feel like gets enough credit is somebody like Daxton Gordon.
Yeah, that's one of my really, really good friends.
Exactly. And he doesn't get any credit, and he won an NCAA title in Division II.
Yeah, he should be getting a lot of credit.
He should.
I mean,
and I know you train with him.
yeah, I trained with him, and I was just with him over there. Like I never thought I was gonna see him over there. I saw him in Orange County. We were hanging out and training in the same gym, Huntington Beach. But I mean, Daxton is like, he's a beast, man. Like he should be getting a lot of credit. Like they should have been doing a parade for him. He won the D2. Like
Exactly.
I mean, I know wrestling is not that popular, but I mean, what he did, like I don't know how many athletes have won from the Pro Valley, something like that in any other sport. D2 have a championship, or D1. I mean,
it doesn't matter though. Like it doesn't matter D2 or D1. The fact is that he's still won a championship in wrestling, and that's like one of the hardest sports in the world, dude.
Yeah.
To win a championship, I mean,
and his dad, he's like he was my coach, and he was the one who showed me how to wrestle. Like he showed me like he like I felt like I had some other coaches, but they were always trying to teach me like the fancy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was always like the basic words. And I was like, I remember he was a double, single, knee spin. That's it. And I was just like, that's all the three moves I had in all my high school career. Remember he would used to slap me before every match. Like everybody would look at me like, why is that guy slapping that kid? Like that, I mean, I'm getting hit, slamming against.
Did you ask him to do that? Or?
No, he just did it.
Oh.
He was always trying to make me mad.
Oh.
And when I would go in there, I would just like, I mean, when I was in high school, I felt like I wasn't that good. I mean, I just felt like I was like really, really tough. Like if I would shoot at somebody, I would like try to like hit him with my forehead in his face, like try to ran him over like as
Okay.
hard as I can. So that's how like I feel like that was just trying to get me mad. So I mean, but like Dexon, I mean, he should be getting a bunch of credit.
Yeah, dude. And I brought him up because I know you guys are really good friends, and then I brought him up because, well, like you guys are killers, both of you. Matt he tells me, he's like, oh, dude, he's like, those guys are beasts. And I was like, man, I mean, I remember not too long ago, maybe sometime last year, you stopped by Morales and I was there, and we went like around. I didn't do anything, but but it was cool though, man. And that's another thing. Like I said, I like that you're humble enough to. It doesn't matter if I haven't been wrestling. You're not gonna beat me up just to beat me up because you're a pro fighter. You're gonna let me work, but you're gonna also like do it cool. Yeah. And I think that's like something that a lot of people don't do that.
I mean, when I was little, I mean, I was the youngest one there. I was like 13 years old, and I was training with a bunch of adults. I was training with Ulises, and all the other fighters that were like at least from 20 and up, and I was getting beat up every single day. So when I now that I roll with people, I'm like, man, I don't want them to feel what I felt. So I like they're like if you go hard, I'll go hard. If you want to go like easy, I'll go easy. Just depends like the look you want. Like I feel the look that you want me to give you. So I mean that's how I go.
I tell Matt every time we wrestle, I'm like, dude, kick my ass, bro. It's only gonna make me better, bro. Um, one thing. So what is like a typical day of training for you, bro? Like, how would you when you're in camp mode? How do you do it? Like, what's your from beginning to the end? What
Well,
does it look like?
it just depends on the day. Like for like every day I had to run. That's like the main thing, just bring my weight down because I walk pretty heavy. I walk around like 190, 185. And I
Damn,
have to
really?
make and I have to make 155.
I'm
So
like 190 right now, bro. I'm fat, though.
so I have to run at least 3 miles every day, and like Saturday and Sunday get like 5 miles in, like 5 in the morning, and then five Saturday, 5 Sunday, and then just depending on the day, like sometimes like Mondays I think we do MMA sparring, just light, and then in the afternoon we do jiu-jitsu. Then Wednesday we do the runs, and then we do like technical sparring, and then we'll do conditioning. We do conditioning twice a week. I think it's Tuesday and Thursday, and then just depending on the day, that's what we do. Um, Thursday, I mean Wednesday we do wrestling with punches, and then ground and pound Thursday, and then jiu-jitsu Friday again. So I mean,
You do this for usually a span of what, like 8 weeks or so?
I tried it. Well, I try to do 2 months and a half.
Okay.
So, like pushing it three, because
So like, okay.
dropping the weight from
Well, yeah, that's a lot of weight.
that's
Dude.
a lot of weight from 185
Yeah.
to 185, 190 to 155.
So
That's
if
a lot
I
of
drop weight to 155, I'll look like you then.
weight. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding, bro. I'm still too fat. That's damn. That's pretty. Sounds fucking busy, bro.
Yeah, it's a busy schedule, and when I'm doing all this stuff, I'm not here in the valley. I'm usually training up there in Orange County, India, like traveling everywhere.
And then you got to do interviews, right?
Yeah, interviews in the middle. Not every day, but just like when they tell me, like whenever I have a fight, like usually, like the company I fight for would tell me like, hey, you want like you got this interview this day. So
Okay.
it just depends on the day.
And so you actually we talked about it earlier as well. You actually just defended your title this year against the guy that won the championship the year before, correct? He won the tournament.
He won the tournament.
Right.
The bell was always mine.
It was vacant.
I was the first.
Right, you won it in the inaugural.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the guy won the Combate World Cup. They win $100,000. Whoever wins, but you had to fight 3 fights in one night. So I think it was 8 countries, and whoever won was gonna face me. So I tell everybody like, when that happened, they told me you gotta go to Peru, and you're gonna face out with whoever wins the tournament. So in the weigh-ins, everybody was just like looking at me. They were like I'm gonna take your head off. It was Spain, Peru, Chile, Spain, I forgot, Mexico, U.S. Like they were todos, entonces te vamos a arrancar la cabeza, te vamos a arrancar la cabeza. Pues yo ahí nomás paradito, ahí nomás escuchándolos, viéndolos. Y ya llegó el día de las peleas y como iban las peleas, ¿cómo se llama? La final fue Ghost Pepper contra Bandanay y ganó Bandanay en Perú y el Bandanay es peruano, so, toda la porra de él estaba
Mhm.
bien contenta, bien, bien, tan gritando, they were super loud. So once they announced him as the winner, Bandanay was looking at me, he was like, "Where you at? Where you at? Where's Rafa? I'm gonna take his belt." And he was talking a bunch of crap, and he was just going like this and looking, saying that he was gonna take my head off. So when they told me to walk in the cage, like everybody started booing me,
Oh
like,
shit.
and I was in a different country, and the guy, like, you could tell that he was pumped up, like he was just like walking and sizing me up and everything. And I went over there, like, because I've always lived in the country with my boots, my belt buckle, like my cowboy belt buckle, and I was just thinking to myself, like, man, if this guy pushes me, I'm gonna freaking punch him like so hard. And if Charles tries to get me, I like, dije, me voy a aflojarle villa, so I could take it off easy and start throwing, like, hitting people with my belt buckle. And but the good thing nothing happened. But that's the scenario I was thinking right there, right now. Like, man, like it's gonna become a big problem. I'm in Peru by myself. I'm gonna get killed probably. But then he was cool about it. He was just screaming stuff in my face. I was like, just save it to Mexicali, because we're gonna fight in Mexicali. So after that, like, I fought him in Mexicali. I fought Bandanay. He was a great striker, and I beat him in his game. And I mean, I felt that was awesome because he was a really, really good striker. He's been knocking people out, and he looked unstoppable in the tournament. So for me to be Bandanay, I felt like I beat like everybody in that tournament. I feel like those $100,000 should have been mine.
Bro, and then uh well, let me retrack here cuz I got kind of lost cuz I was thinking about your fights. So, you just won the championship last year, you won it, or this year?
Won it in September
September. Okay, so yeah, I just want to make sure. So you won
last year,
last year, that you already defended
2019.
it. So, I mean, that dude, like when I saw that Badenai fight, I was like, damn, dude, because there was a couple of kicks, bro, that like he hit you right here,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh fuck, like I was scared, bro. I was watching that fight, I was like, oh fuck, like, and obviously you get scared, even though you're probably like calm in there, like, oh that shit, I didn't feel it, but like we're out here like, fuck, dude. I remember trying to watch it at my brother's house. Actually,
Yeah.
I was telling my brother like, dude, Rafa's fighting. Rafa's like, let's get it. We had to watch it on TUDN or
Through the N or Access TV.
yeah, I finally found it on Facebook, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were sharing it on Facebook, but dude, that fight was a good fight, bro. One thing I remember now, dude. So that was, I know you fought in like promotional stuff in Mexicali before, right?
Yeah.
But now that you fought in a big promotion, how was that experience, like fighting in Mexicali, dude?
Um, I mean, it was really good. It was the first time I fought in Mexicali, like for Combate. The first time they came was in back in February or January, I can't remember, of 2019. That was when I signed my second contract with Combate.
Okay.
And what part my manager told him, like, hey, you guys should bring Combate to Mexicali. Like, Rafa's filling up the when you guys went to LA, Rafa had the most people there, and that's like 3-4 hours from his house. When he found in Phoenix, that he got that place full too. So what makes you think that Mexicali's not gonna be full? And the guys, the one of the promoters talked to all the big guys from Combate, Univision, and all that stuff, and they told him, like, we should do an event in Mexicali. And they were like, okay, you know how hard it is to make an event in Mexicali, and because there's no international airport, because we got people flying from different places. You got to bring all the camera. You got to bring the cage over here. Like, it's not that easy.
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling me that place is gonna be full. So I mean, and the promoter told me, like, if that Mexicali doesn't get full, we're all gonna get fired. You're gonna get fired, Rafa. that's kind of, he didn't tell me those words, but he kind of told me, like,
Pretty much.
I'm gonna get fired, like,
Right.
so I'm just thinking, if you're gonna get fired, I'm probably they're probably gonna be super pissed at me or something. So like, thank God, like, that thing was packed the first time. The second time there was more people. This third time, like, I think they said that it was a sold out, the arena.
Oh shit.
So I mean, I had a lot. I had the things. Yo siempre lo he dicho, gracias a toda mi gente que siempre me ha apoyado. He tenido bastante apoyo de todos ellos. No nomás ser mexicano, digo, toda la gente del Valle Imperial, toda la gente de Yuma, y luego la gente ahora que me sigue también de Indio y Cochera. Se les agradece bastante porque me han ayudado a poder demostrar que también vamos a llenar un estadio, podemos hacer cosas grandes, no nomás yo, sino todos.
Hell yeah, dude.
Y yo
Hell.
siempre lo he dicho, al yo pelear en Mexicali, no nomás es para mí, le digo, es porque estoy brindando, pues siento que se está abriendo las puertas a otra gente, porque no es tan fácil agarrar una oportunidad en una promoción grande. Yo tuve que ir a unos Open Trials para entrar a combate. Eran como 300, 400 personas en esos Open Trials. De esas cosas, 300, 400 nomás me agarraron a mí y me dieron el contrato a mí. So, para mí, yo siempre le he dicho, a mí me gusta abrir puertas, ser agradecido y ser, um, ser gente con la gente, porque nunca se te puede olvidar de dónde viniste, porque pues son la gente que siempre ha estado ahí para ti. Y yo traer un evento y traer una promoción como Combate Américas en Mexicali, no nomás siento que fue un logro para mí, sino fue un logro para todos, porque se les abrió la puerta a bastante gente, y eso es algún sueño que yo tenía. No quería que la gente batallara tanto como lo que yo batallé para llegar a una promoción grande. Quería hacerle la vida, su carrera más fácil para ellos. So, para mí eso es un gran logro de mi parte, que sabes que le pude, si puedo hacer que esa persona batalle un poco menos de lo que yo batallé, para mí es un logro.
I like that too, bro. I try to live like that. For people that don't know what he was saying, he's just trying to make it easier for other people to come to Mexicali and being able to sell out the last fight that he had, but even fill up like crazy amount of fans in the other fights that he had. Like that for him, like I feel he feels like it's successful, and he feels like that's one of the greatest things that like one of the greatest feelings he has. Correct? Is that okay to say?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And dude, that's crazy, bro. That whole that story, I didn't know that, dude. That's nuts. Um, I know in your interviews you've talked about that, like when you were in high school and stuff. Um, you you're like, how do you spend your free time? I know, like back then you said, "Oh, dude, when I was training, I didn't go to parties," and then you said that when you won your championship, one of the championships, that your trainer told you, "Okay, go home. We're gonna go party, but you go home."
Yeah, I mean, I think that was crazy. I mean, it was never in my head to go party, because I was always super focused. I mean, after I won the fight, I was just like, oh, I think the only thing I want to go is probably go eat tacos or something, you know. But like, all my trainers, they were like, oh, we're gonna go celebrate. Yeah, you go home, like go rest. We're gonna go celebrate for you, and they'll go to the clubs and everything, and they'll be sending me videos, or they'll be tagging me in videos on Facebook, like, hey, we're here partying, celebrating Rafa's victory and everything. I'm like, cool, that's cool. But I mean, I think that helped me a lot, like just like them, like me dándome ese espacio, diciéndome, ¿sabes qué? Tú tienes que estar enfocado en esto, deja que nosotros nos encargamos de esto, sí, del party y todo eso. So, porque siento que este deporte, mi papá siempre es un deporte muy celoso. La fiesta no se lleva bien con este deporte, la tomadera no se lleva bien con este deporte. Siempre tienes que ser una persona bien estricta y tienes que ser
Enfocada.
bien enfocado en lo que estás haciendo en tu meta. So, eso pienso que me ayudó bastante a que ellos me dieran mi espacio y que no me dijeran, ¿sabes qué? Vente, nunca me dijeron, no seas miedoso, vente, tómate una para acá. Nunca me dijeron eso, nunca me metieron esa presión, o nunca me metieron esa como que me quieran meter ese como deseo de, quiero ir a tirar party con ellos, o quiero ir a tomar con ellos. Nunca me dieron por ese lado. So, eso me ayudó bastante. Sí, yo siempre me dijeron, no, el Rafita siempre, sí, era el más chico aparte de todos ellos. Se me da que yo me llevo con ellos de pérdida, con todos los que me ayudaron a entrenar desde chiquito, de pérdida 7 años de diferencia. So, ellos siempre me tenían así como el Rafita del Rafita. No, nunca fui Rafa, fue Rafita para ellos. Como, ya que salía para la casa el Rafita, aunque ya tuviera 18, 20 años, el Rafita salía para la casa. Pero eso, en vez de mirarlo como algo malo, lo tengo que mirar como algo bueno, porque me ayudó. ¿Qué tal? A lo mejor si estuviera fuera tomado, me fuera ido de par y no fuera estar igual de enfocado como lo que estoy ahorita.
Do you drink, bro, or no?
No, no tomo.
No.
No
Okay.
tomo, nunca he tomado.
Nice. I like that.
Sí.
That's good, bro. Um, so like, when, what would you say? Like what's a perfect day for a Rafa, dude? Spending time with your family, riding your horses, or what?
Sí, esa es mi pasión. Me gusta mucho estar con mi familia, más que nada, estar con mi hija, estar con mi esposa, estar con mis papás y montar caballos. Eso me encanta. Me voy con mi papá, con mis amigos a montar caballos, y es un desestrés, ¿entiendes? Te vas con el caballo y es muy bonito montar caballo.
Did you really ride a bull, bro? Is that
Sí, sí.
Oh, that's a crazy story, bro. That I
Sí,
heard.
de hecho lo gracioso de eso es que mi manager no habla nada de español, so fuimos a un jaripeo después de una pelea me invitaron a un jaripeo y cuando fuimos al jaripeo me dijeron los muchachos, no te subes, no te subes. Y me empezó a pegar ahí en el ego y dije, sí me subo. Y me dijo, no te subes, no te subes. Mi madre dijo, nomás súbete arriba, pero que no abran
Ajá.
no abran las puertas para que no salga el toro, nomás tómate la foto arriba del toro. Y luego le dije, ok. Y me subí arriba del toro. Y me acuerdo que me volteé a ver a mi manager y volteé a ver a un muchacho. Le dije, abre la puerta. Y luego me dijo, what you tell him? Le dije, nothing. Y le grité, abre la puerta. Y abrieron la puerta. Y cuando abrieron la puerta, el toro arrancó corriendo. Yo no tenía de dónde agarrarme, no estaba ni amarrado el toro ni de dónde agarrarme. Estaba así balanceándome nomás. Y me dijo, no, no, no,
Oh
no.
shit.
Bájenlo, bájenlo, bájenlo. Agarra el toro. Me acuerdo, no creo que duré más de 5 o 8 segundos de arriba del toro. Se me hizo como que duré media hora. Me bajé temblando del toro. Me acuerdo que me agarré de los rieles. Me brinqué y dije, me bajé, no podía parar de temblar. Me acuerdo que no sé si fue la adrenalina, si era miedo. Pero mi madre me dice, ¿qué estabas haciendo? ¿Por qué hiciste eso? Y dice, espérate, lo agarré en video. Ah, ok, estamos bien. Pero y después de eso me pasó una regañada. Pero primero dijo, lo agarré en el video.
Oh man, that's good, man. Oh shoot, man. Hey, so I was looking at your Instagram, and I was looking at one of your old photos. It says that you fought like a 317 black belt, and 317-pound black belt, and you weighed 157. Did you beat that guy?
No, me ganó.
Oh
Me
damn.
ganó. Acababa de salir de high school, se me hace, tenía como 17 años. Y me acuerdo que lo miré y le gané a todo, le gané a todos. Ya había ganado en mi weight class, ya había ganado, pero esa era la Absolute Division.
Okay.
Y me acuerdo que cuando me dije, sí le gano, sí le gano. Y papá también estaba, sí le ganas, sí le ganas. Y yo dije, bueno, pues, sobre, me puse con el morro a luchar. Y empecé a luchar y me acuerdo que me cayó encima, me luchó encima. Y le hice sweep y me paré y lo apuché y me paré. Le dije que se pare. Y dije, I could get a takedown, I could beat him my points. Dije, y me acuerdo cuando le dije que se pare, el muchacho se ofendió. He got super offended. He was like, "You want me to get up?" And he started screaming, trying to get on my face. They had to like calm him down.
What?
And then like he took me down. He sat on top of me. I was like, I just couldn't take him down. He got me like in the neck crank and just like started squeezing. And I had to tap.
Hmm.
I mean, that was a good experience. It was fun. I mean,
Man, that shit's crazy, dude. So you just bought a house in Palm Springs, right?
no, I'm renting a house right now.
Oh, you're renting a house. Okay. So are you gonna end up like staying out there, or do you think you're gonna end up coming back?
No, I'm gonna end up coming back like eventually soon.
Okay.
Right now, I just did that because
It's easier to train, right?
it's easier to train. I want to be closer to my family, but eventually, like I'm always coming back and forth anyway. So for me, I just saw like it's like right in the middle. 'Cause I train a lot in Orange County, so it's like an hour and a half away from Orange County and an hour and a half away
Oh, nice.
from Valley. It's because I want to be close to the Valley too. Because I mean, I try to help out as much as I can here too. Like I try to go to the wrestling room with a high schooler. Right now we can't, but I try to go help out there a lot too, or go train with my buddies here.
And I wanted to talk about that because I think that's super cool, bro. Like that's one of the things about my show is, how you give back, and we kind of talked about it in the beginning. Is that you give back on a bunch of things. You promote like other people's like the Valley. Evan Pumphrey, right? That's his
Yeah.
company. I know you're helping him. I bought a shirt from him. This shirt right here. I wore it for two reasons. One, I wore it because I'm representing you, bro. And two, well, my buddy, he made it. It's the Mexican eagle with the fire helmet, and
That's nice.
because I'm a firefighter, obviously, and so like that part is like I wanted to show you, but I also want to show love.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and but the whole training and giving back, like you and Matt, like I like that you guys are doing that, and your brother, correct? Like
Yeah.
you and Matt and your brother are helping out that guy Paul,
Yeah.
and that fool's a stud from what I've heard.
Yeah, he's really, really good. Paul's crazy. I remember he started coming in with me when he was a freshman. He used to wake up like at 3, 4 in the morning every single day, and because I was getting ready for a fight, and I told him like, you can come over and train with me, and he was telling me what time did you train? I was like 4 in the morning because I got to go to work, and he was like, I'll be there, and every day he was there, and like we'll do like some crazy workouts, and he would come the next day. I'm like, I was telling my brother like, man, this kid really wants it, like he really wants to be successful because he keeps coming and really like going super hard. Besides working out, we're wrestling and like going hard with him just to make him better and everything. He became so tough and he became so good. I mean, like I'm like that kid. Like
He's
gonna
got
be,
potential.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna be something big. Watch.
yeah, and I've seen a lot of videos because Matt posts a lot of videos, like highlights and stuff of his takedowns. Dude, that kid is good, bro.
Yeah.
Oh man, well, all you guys are good. Even your brother, huh? Your brother, he's a good grappler too, right?
He's a good wrestler,
Oh,
and grappler. He's just big and strong.
did your brother and you were you guys like nogi champs? Yeah, right.
Yeah, my
You,
brother.
you did Naga, right?
No, we did the Grappler's Quest.
Okay, and you guys
I
won.
won the World Series of Grappling. He won the World Series of Grappling too.
And how old were you?
I was 17. He was like 12, I think.
I,
He 12 or 10.
bro, I'm not being mean or anything, but I remember your brother was chubby. He's not chubby anymore.
Yeah,
He's
but
not.
he was like 250 pounds and like 5'2".
But I
And,
remember. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
and out of a sudden he just grew up and right now he's like freaking Hulk. He's super big and strong, like, and he's like lean and like he's always been strong. Even if he was short and chubby, he was strong. But right now, like it's crazy how strong he is.
Is he? Let me. I know you're probably not gonna tell me the truth, but can you take him still?
I mean, it's hard. I mean, we'll be wrestling for an hour, and sometimes he takes me down, sometimes I take him down. There's only one takedown in an hour, man.
Damn.
So I mean, it's super hard. It's hard because we already know each other. We already know like what I'm gonna do. The times I take him down is when I bring something new that I learned from over there that he doesn't know, and then he'll pick it up and he'll try to do it to me. So I mean,
Bro,
it's always super hard.
that shit's funny because, well, you know my brother. My brother wrestled too. Well, my brother also like your brother. He was chubby and short, and then like 1 year to the next, bro, he's 5'11" and like all skinny, and like I'm only 5'7" barely, and so like but now it's fucking hard to beat that fool. Like I can take him down. Like if we wrestle 10 times, like like in the sense like I got to try something different that he hasn't seen. But for the like out of the 10 times, I'll probably take him down 2 times, and then he'll take me down the other 8. But he's fucking strong, dude. I fucking hate that. And he's my younger brother, bro.
Yeah, I was telling everybody he is bigger than me. Like my brother, he's probably like 217 or 215 probably. He's my little big brother. I was telling everybody he's like tall, big, and strong.
Yeah,
He's a really
dude,
good wrestler.
I feel that. The whole reason I wanted to have you on here is because one day you're gonna be too famous for me, bro, and it's gonna be hard to like interview you ever again.
No, that's never gonna happen. If you want to find me, you're gonna find me.
I appreciate that, bro. Do you see yourself coaching though, like after your career?
Yeah, I mean that's something I want to do after I'm done fighting. Probably coach.
MMA or wrestling?
Both. I like to do both.
Nice.
Because I mean, I feel like like if like all the traveling I've done and all the stuff I've learned over like from traveling and training in other places, I feel like I could bring it down here to the valley and just. I've always said it like, we have the talent here. We got a bunch of good wrestlers like from all over the valley. We could do like a big good MMA team here, but we just can't have like this like. I feel like it's a lot of ego like have like open like there's too many gyms. There's too many gyms. Like,
I agree with
like
you.
One gym.
I agree with you.
Like we're too small to have that many gyms. Like we should make like something big, and like have more support for like from everybody. Like and make it like one big team and have one coach and like everybody listen to that one coach because I feel like once a lot of people when they get to a certain point they're like I know this and they try to start their own little thing. That's when things starts falling down like because they start competing with their whole team.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I feel like if everybody like would just like stay in one team, like with one big team, like if everybody would get together and start one big team, that would make like a big difference.
I've always agreed with that. I was always something I kind of thought about too, like having like one gym and then like because if you go to San Diego and other places that you've been to, they have like a big gym and then they have like different coaches for different disciplines and that teach different days and different times. So there's like it can exist, like you say, it can happen. It's just too much ego, bro.
Yeah, and I mean I learned a little bit from everybody. Like I have my wrestling coach. Like I go train boxing with the Diaz brothers, with Joel and Antonio Diaz. They train like a legit like boxing fighters. Like they used to train Bradley, and I mean who else? Diego de la Hoya and a bunch of other boxers. And like wrestling, I go a lot with Mark Munoz and Daryl Christian.
Dude, Mark Munoz, that's badass.
He's
bro.
one of I used to go with him a lot. And then like just like my MMA coaches right now, Cub Swanson, him and Kami, they're like focus on on all the MMA stuff, like bring everything together, all the boxing, the MMA, the wrestling, putting it all together. But I feel like just we need that, like, just be like one team. No, we don't need like we don't need everybody to just be spread out. We need everybody together.
Well, bro, maybe in the future you could be the guy that opens
Yeah.
that gym, bro. Because you need to trust somebody, and I think a lot of people would trust you, bro. Like straight up. Well, bro, um, again, like when I look at your fights and stuff, dude, like people have to. You guys gotta watch these fights on YouTube, by the way. Rafa Garcia, just look him up. I always type in Rafa Gifted Garcia, it comes up. All his fights. Literally, I took a bunch of notes. Like this guy, his takedowns are top notch. All the announcers are always talking about your takedowns. They're always saying how your wrestling is like the best wrestling, and it's not typical. Like for Mexico isn't known for wrestling, but it's because you have you were blessed to be able to wrestle here, learn some stuff here from Ulysses, and put it all together. You've kind of made like a hybrid form of wrestling, bro.
Yeah.
And jiu-jitsu, it's beautiful, bro. Like I'm telling you, like your takedowns are nice, and then you like in some of your takedowns, bro, you go into these submissions like nothing, dude. And then I've seen you fight off your back, which a lot of wrestlers, it takes years for them to get comfortable fighting off their back. And even when they get comfortable, one thing is fighting, defending off your back. Another thing is throwing submissions,
Yeah.
And another thing is even like actually locking it in, and like, dude, you have to watch these fights. Like, dude, I think in one fight you had like 7 takedowns. Dude, that's fucking ridiculous, bro.
Yeah. I think they were all lifts. I had to lift them all, but every time. So.
Yeah, well, yeah. There was one fight where you had like 4 slams, bro. You slam, and that's one thing. There's one fight in particular where you slam that guy at least 3 or 4 times, bro. But most of your fights you always throw at least one of those in there.
Yeah.
And so I did notice that the heart and the Mexican, like the chin and like the fact that you always want to go forward. I've seen that, and like you just saying it, but like. Just watch the video. You'll see it. You are a pressure fighter. I like that shit. And you keep going forward. I mean, aside from that, bro, like, I'm really thankful that you came here, dude. I'm, I know you're busy and stuff. You're training and stuff like that. But, thank you, bro. Like, I'm proud of you, dude. Like, I know that we weren't necessarily like super close, obviously, but you've always been super cool with me. You've always been super cool with my brother. You've always been like, super inviting. Like, yeah, dude, like, I want a shirt, by the way.
Yeah,
I want to buy one. Like, I don't want it free. Obviously, I'm not saying that you were expecting to give me one free, but I want to buy one because I want to support you. I have a shirt, so hopefully maybe I could give it to you if you're down.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a little, it's a gift, dude.
Thank you.
But I'm proud of, what's next for you. Hopefully, like, you will see you in the big leagues,
Yeah.
whatever that is. I know we will, and dude, we're gonna be cheering for you, bro.
Thank you, appreciate that. And thank you for having me here. I'm never busy for a friend, so you know where I'm at.
We need more people like you, bro.
You got my number. I'll give you my number, or you can hit me on Instagram like you did.
Okay.
So I'm always here, like for you or for anyone.
And I just want to say in Spanish, gracias por estar aquí en la entrevista, Rafa. Ojalá que les guste en el episodio.
Han disfrutado el episodio.
Oh, perdón. And you know what? That's okay, bro. Correct me, because my mom corrected me all these years, So, disfrutar.
No, de hecho, yo siempre he pensado, como, vamos por decir, yo me he dado mucha gente que no le da vergüenza hablar español. Digo, ¿por qué me tiene que dar mi vergüenza hablar inglés? Mi primer lenguaje siempre fue español, y batallé mucho porque yo fui a la escuela en Calexico, y en Calexico se habla en inglés, pero yo no hablaba el inglés en Calexico. Cuando me trajeron para acá, para Imperial, en 6º grado, yo batallé mucho para aprender a hablar inglés o posar inglés. Me daba vergüenza, y luego empezaba a mirar a otros muchachos cuando me empezaban a hablar a mí, quieren hacer amistad, me hablaban a mí en español y no les daba vergüenza porque no tenían el mejor español y no les daba vergüenza. Digo, ¿por qué me tienen que dar vergüenza a mí? Es algo que nomás tienes que soltarte y hablar y no perder tus raíces, más que nada, ¿me entiendes?
Y eso me gusta mucho, porque yo soy orgulloso de ser americano, pero también soy orgulloso de ser mexicano. Y eso es lo que es uno de mis metas en este podcast, es que I want people to know that I am proud to be Mexican, but I'm also proud to be an American. You know, I don't hate America. But I love being able to like wave both flags. You know, so yeah, dude. And you know, I think a lot of it has to do with the way we were raised, the way our culture is. You know, we're taught to be hard workers. We're taught to be grinders. We're taught to not complain about shit. When things happen, we kind of just say, "Oh, well, fuck, it happened." Like, what can we do? You know, we're not like our culture. Isn't like many other cultures, right? Like we're like I said, there's just something different about us.
No venimos a ver si podemos, venimos porque podemos.
Exactly, bro. That's good. And then that's what I'm talking about, bro. Like, dude, I just love everything you're saying right now, bro. But again, dude, thank you, dude. I appreciate this a lot, for reals. I really mean that, bro.
Muchas gracias, ya sabes.
And you know, we're gonna keep supporting you, bro. You know, and keep pushing you. I talk about you at work a lot, bro. People are like, "Who's that?" They're like, "Dude, you gotta look at this guy." All right, bro. Well, thank you, and I want to thank everybody for tuning into the episode. This is in regards to myself. Thank you. We're back. Peace out.